this payment failed, and then we'll give you like a failed message back.
So for MT103 out, you will give us an MT103 NAC.
Yes.
And for the MT101 out, what will you give us?
I think once we get into the message to see like what do you expect? What do you expect for like a failed MT101?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So let's go through the detail of the elements. Like I want to go through like 920 first.
Yeah, that's how the flow will be. We will cover 920 first.
Yeah. So then we will say if if even like 920 it failed or it didn't come back, what do you expect, right? So let's discuss about in those scenarios.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Is that Panda? You can walk us through like the elements, right?
Will it be possible, Frank, for you to share this? This diagram
I'll send out this meeting to everybody.
Yeah. Thank you.
No problem. So Panda, let's do like 920 first and 941, and also to cover scenario that Turan just mentioned. Data elements. What if say 101 fail? Like what kind of message do you expect? Like for a failed 101, or you just like mark it as pending. Like what is the out of box logic within LMS? Sure. Yeah, let's do a 920 first, 920 and 941 first, and then let's go to like 103 act neck, and then 101.
Yeah, sure. Able to see my screen, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, the purpose of MT920 is to like request the balances of the external account. Yeah? That is part of the intraday sweeps. Yeah. Let's go into the elements. Yeah. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. Yeah. So the first block is identified with the 1, and so these are all the static values, the F01, and this is the identifier which is the sender to BIC. This is like for both internal and external account, we'll be having BIC number, so maintained at account level, that will be having this identifier here.
Okay, so Turan, that's the BIC that's configured there for the host or for the branch.
Yeah, this is the Canada BIC, the RBC Canada BIC.
Yes.
Then these two are the static values. Yeah, this will be the same.
Yeah. Sorry. Pena. Sumesh, like, we're gonna have to find out, what is the BIC, we're gonna use for RBC Express routing. So we're gonna find out, what is right BIC. I think that's in your request, right?
But that is for payment messages, Frank. Yeah. So what I heard earlier between you and Simran that we are going to use a different 11 connector BIC for 920, then and to receive 941, then 942s, right?
I think let's find out from GTX War Room, like let's say what is the BIC code used for RBC Express when they receive a 942. So that's the question. Like, what is the BIC code used for that? And then like what is the BIC code used for like payments MT103 101? I suspect could be different because for routing, different teams applications will use different BIC code for routing, right? Because Express will have its own BIC codes. Capital markets will have their own BIC code. Like War Room will use that for different routing. So I suspect the BIC code used for RBC Express 920 routing is different from the payments. It might be same. Maybe they use the same BIC code for Express payments as well. But let's find out.
Okay. So, but from our perspective, Frank, I'm just wondering, we'll have to identify the incoming, or Express will have to identify the incoming 942 and 940 as for LMS, right? And if we are using the same, if they use the same bit that they usually do to receive 940, 942, then we'll have to be dependent on some other logic to route it to LMS, right?
Yeah, so Express will do enhancements. They will need to identify, okay, this 942 is coming back for LMS clients. Then they will actually notify us. So it's going to be some, enhancement to Express logic.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, shall we move to the next block?
Yes.
So application header block. Then
When the session number and the sequence number is always zeros.
yeah, these two are
Constant numbers.
constant number. Will be populated 4 zeros and 6 zeros as it is, just like here mentioned, 4 zeros and 6 zeros.
Okay, so it's all fixed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, those are fixed.
Question, are we following a sequence like 920 today means number 1, number 2 tomorrow and so on?
No. It will have a
Okay,
different
sequence.
reference number altogether. It will have a different reference number altogether.
Okay.
It is kind of a fresh, not a sequence.
Not
or-
a sequence, okay,
Yeah,
fine, that's
no.
fine.
Okay. Then the second block. So input output identifier will indicate whether it is input or output. So it is input to the bank, so it is I here. Yeah. Then message type is as it is 920, the static value is a fixed value 920 for empty 920. And the receiver's address, this is there is a logic behind. The first 8 characters are the from the big, substring of the 8 characters of the big. Hello, anything? Frank, you are saying?
No. Go ahead.
No.
Tyrone, so receive the big. That's captured in the multi-bank account onboarding, or where is that receiver's big?
So this is basically, so it is in the other branch master which we were referring to yesterday. And the reference data.
Okay.
Tarun,
Yeah,
for
it says-
example, if I'm sending a 920 to Citibank Canada,
Mm-hmm.
you'll be sending it to the big code that is maintained on your side for Citibank.
Yes.
Okay.
So 8 characters are substring of the big, then there will be a static fixed value A. Then the remaining 3 characters of the big are followed by, which is 11 character big is separated by a character A. Yeah. First 8 are substring and the remaining 3 at the end.
Yep.
Yeah. Then
Sorry, but not just one second. Frank and Simran, this is a Swift message header that Topendra is talking about, right? This header will typically, are we just going to send out the message as is, or the header will be created by, by the payment system, right? That's
No, this is not going to payment system, no? This is going directly out.
This is going to
GTX.
GTX.
Okay. So
And
they
then-
will.
Smash, we need to understand what is the data elements and format coming from MS, and then we're gonna have to talk GTX wire room to see what is the the data elements in the format they will accept, and we're gonna have to map.
Maybe it's the big probably that if you use specific big which is not, I don't know, maybe it's only big specific that you'll have to take care of. Remaining format is actually the standard format, nothing that you need to do specially for it.
I will assume so, and I hope so. So Smash, you need to understand each data elements here coming out of the formats, each data elements coming out of LMS, and then we need to get a copy of the message format from GTX for 920, and then map data elements one by one.
Yeah. Actually, Frank, the way LMS is going to send this, right? They are going to send it in a 920 format only. right? So this is
Right.
not how they won't send. They'll be sending it as a Swift 920 only, right, Tarun?
Correct.
Yeah, it will be Swift 920 only.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Then the next one is the message priority. Will be having you and I guess there will be one more value, urgent or normal kind of thing. So yeah, that in LC will populate. Yeah.
So we will have it as N, right? This
Yeah,
is a
by
standard
default.
notation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then these two are optional. System will ignore. I guess we are not populating this. We can ignore. There is no significance of these two elements. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, continue. Yep.
Then the next block is user header block. The block 3. So we'll be having the just a minute. Sorry. The tag 113 system, this also will ignore. Let me check if we have 113. Yeah, I guess we are not populating the 113 also. Even I guess this can also we can ignore. Message user reference, which is 108 ICPS, which is 4-character application identity followed by sequence number or character. This information is sent in the corresponding ACNAC message from Swift to sender.
So this is basically when your MT920 gets rejected, right? I guess that's where you can send this back if it is a NAC.
Yeah, usually the ACK is I guess 01 and 02. That number will be there. So for ACK and NAC identification that we can find in the ACK-NAC message. Yeah, the code.
Sorry, can you just repeat again on this one? So from sender, like LMS point of view, it's just only ICPS. Do you send anything else than this ICPS? Do you have a sequence number here? Or you put your sequence number in your tag 20? Panda.
Yeah, this 4-character followed by sequence number is there. Yeah. Our sequence number or character, whether we use whether the corresponding ACK-NAC, the message is successful or whether we received ACK or not. If I can see, it looks like there is typo. I is not printed here. ICPS followed by 1010 we have printed.
Okay, you have 1010.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay, it's fine.
Yeah. Then the next is block 4. In that we have 20 tag 20, which is a sequence number. So this is the one Tarun is saying that we'll be having a identification that liquidity is sending this. Yeah,
Sure.
correct, Tarun?
Yeah. Can you check that sample in which?
Yeah, here we can. Yeah, here it is.
So can you just remove the highlight and just highlight that acronym? What's the number? Can you call that? Just a second, Rajan.
This is liquidity.
What's the full?
That liquidity 1010.
Yeah. So liquidity term is basically will help you to identify whatever you want to identify. Yes, sir.
Can we assume that the word liquidity is static for all 101
Yes.
going out?
This is 920.
Sorry, 920. And the
Yes,
last
sir.
2 characters can change.
Yes.
Okay.
Is that like 4 digits is it gonna be unique enough?
It doesn't matter, right? It is not. It is just a sample, right?
Sample. Okay.
Yeah, it's a sample. Right?
Assume your sequence number is pretty unique, right? Because otherwise, if you have duplicate.
No, don't worry about
It
that.
will get changed.
It is unique. Yeah, it is unique.
Okay.
So the next process. The
Wait.
next one is message request. Yeah, you are saying anything?
No, I was like no, because you switched to another screen. Yeah. Go.
No, that was like by mouse. Yeah. So message requester, whether we are expecting MT940 or 941, part of this 920 request. So that can be populated here as it is part of this. It is a 941.
Yeah. And how system derives whether it is a 941 or a 940 when you set up a sweep instruction, right? When you set up a sweep instruction for a third-party bank account, The balance type that you select is Swift running balance, Swift running available balance. And based on that, system identifies that it's an MT941 that is being requested.
Okay.
Okay, when you set up a sweep instruction in the system, there's a field for the external account number, and post that there's a field called balance type. And in that balance type, there are various balance type options that are available. One of the options is Swift running available balance. If you select Swift running available balance, system would only consider it as an MT941 balance. Okay, so that is what will drive the request to the particular tag to have MT941 or a 941 number out here.
Yeah. So our plan is we're gonna replace this 941 with 942 when we
Correct.
send it out.
Correct.
From your adapter, you are saying the first level adapter, you are saying, right?
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Understood. Right. So the next is the account identification, which is the key for MT920, which was maintained at external account level. So here is an example. We have provided 25 tag.
This is the external account number.
Yeah.
So this like sample message over here. So any questions on this?
Sumesh and Yash, do you have any question for that?
No, I think I'm okay.
Yeah, I'm also good.
Cool.
So, Upender, when we
Yeah.
for the ACK or MAC,
Yeah.
what is it that we do, or what is it that we will be doing? If this, how will we know? How will we know the 920s is successful or failed? Is there some kind of a response that we expect?
Ishwar, you have any idea on that?
You know, yeah, I'll let Upena answer that question.
Yeah.
No, Upendra, I need to check.
Ishwar will, sorry, Tarun need to check that in this case.
I think Toronto, like, for 920, because it's MQ message, so MQ message, you don't get a response right away, right? This is asynchronous. I think, but Upena, you can check, on your site. For 920, you will have a configuration on your side for timeouts. So if you don't get a 941 back, within the time frame, then you will mark it, the multi-bank balance request failed. So you will not trigger your sweep.
Okay, now what is this? Then what is this particular tag? Message reference, message user reference in the user header block. The 4-character application identifier followed by character text information. Can you see this?
So looking at it looks like we'll use this while sending the ACK or MAC Tarun, but we
Who's
need to
sending the
cross-
ACK or MAC here?
it. So we should expect, I guess,
Correct.
that one.
Correct.
So yeah, we should expect might be that is we might be.
So we may not expect an ACK or what, but we may actually expect a MAC, right? Because there could be a technical failure with the Swift message.
Okay.
Yeah, so
The question that
They
is,
could be.
That's not my understanding, though. That's not my understanding. So we're saying that you send out 920, we will send it out to SwiftNet network, etc. If there's nothing come back or failed, then you will not get a 941 within the time frame, and then you will
yeah,
just,
fine, but what if GTX, which GTX will also do the check, right? Will also do format check, right? GTX would be doing that. Now, in that format check, if it fails, what happens? What does GTX do?
we're gonna have to find out from GTS. If there's
Yeah.
I think they have limited, edit checks, but if they
Whatever.
do, you can put a
Yeah,
notes. You can put a notes.
Yeah.
Frank, I have to drop off another call. Dan
Okay.
and Sweta are here.
Okay, sure. Thanks, Rajan.
Thank you.
So Sarun, you are saying in case of GTX fails, we should have the NAC immediately. Is that?
I want to know what the GTX
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
We need to know what the GTX does, because if so it could be that the format is not valid or whatever. Unnecessarily, client should not get impacted, right? Client, because of that.
Yeah,
So,
good point.
Yeah.
We
So
have to
we
find
need to
out.
look at yeah.
Smash, can you take note as well, like, when we discuss with GTX to see the negative, unhappy path scenario, if they fail, like, what's their response, and then we need to decide, how do we handle that.
Take a note.
So Tyrone, like, we'll find out. But the scenario eventually will be like, you will not receive a 941 for this client, for this account. So from ML's point of view, like eventually, like after a couple of minutes or within the minute configuration, you will not receive 941. So that's week one.
So that is there. So that exists. That's not a problem. But that is only when the third party bank doesn't provide the balance, right? If the empty message itself has some fault, because of which it is not, gone into the Swift gateway at all, then it is something that needs to be worked on and rectified. Right?
That's the point. I think let's Yash and the Smash. Let's we're gonna have a session with GTX room like now very quickly after this. Let's ask that question, and then when you think about it, say, I think we should get something back, and then we at least log it in our log files, and then just at least note that there's some issue with the format or something, except when it happens.
Yeah, only if it's a NAC, then we need to get it. If everything is proper and they have sent it to the Swift gateway and the other bank, then we don't need any response. Then we can actually wait for the other bank to give the 941 and whatever.
Okay.
Sorry, Frank, just one quick one, Tarun. Do you want an actual Swift NAC message to be fed into LMS?
I am not sure of the format. It may be like our yeah.
So can I just find out? Yeah. Do you expect any response?
Yeah.
It's like probably something similar to what we were talking about, MT 103 NAC. 103 app for the 103 that has been sent out.
Yeah.
To third party bank. We receive an act, right? That the entire processing is done, kind of successful, right? Something similar here. When there's an app, only when there's an app, not when there's an app.
Yeah, understood. I'll get back on this in case if we get how we handle it. Yeah.
No, not if we get how we handle it. What is it? If there's a format, what is the format?
Okay. Yeah.
And of course, we will have to work on that NAC and see what needs to be done, right? So that all needs to be understood.
Understood. Yes, sir.
Okay. So I think we're good for 920. Can we go to 941?
Yeah. Yes. So MT 941, it is in the response of MT 920, which we have requested, and it is a intraday balance. Yeah. So shall we go to the elements? Yeah. So the first it has 1, 2, and I guess it is not having the block 3. In block 4, we have 1, 2, and 4 blocks. Then the first block, the same thing like identifier is the receiver's Swift address. Yeah, these two are same.
This is senders, right? Header will have senders, right, or receivers. What is written out here?
It is written as a receiver Swift address.
Okay, fine. Move on. Then that's what it will be.
Yeah. Receiver Swift. No, that's the RVCs or that's cities. Big codes.
This is receiver is the
RVCs.
It will be RVC, right?
Okay.
Because it is coming from the other bank, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
It's RVC one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So these two are the same. Yes.
Smash, this is important for you to understand, right? Because people's gonna ask this question, what's exact as fields for the big codes? Is it the RVC or it's other banks? And So much like we're gonna actually put another column here, like say which one is gonna be mapped to, right?
Yeah.
All right. So
I think we'll have to, this is 941, right?
yeah,
Oh.
941. But we need to specify, say which big code it is for here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll add the extra column for RBC.
No, you
yeah.
don't need to do anything.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Then the block 2, the input output identifier is like whether it is input or output. Then the message type as it is 941. Yeah. Then input date. So these are like from the balance, like the requested time. Yeah. Balance requested time. I mean date. It's a date. Sorry. Then the sender Swift address. So again, it's the same logic. 11 character big separated by the 8 with the substring of the big, and he has a static value and a 3 character followed by the big. Yeah, it's a sender. As it is a receiver, it's a sender. So then this is a system will ignore. Yeah, which you can.
You can scroll down, please.
Yeah. So the session number can be, you can input any 10 character thing that can be ignored.
So this is standard format which will come from the
Yeah.
other bank, right? Yeah, sequence number then.
Yeah, output date will be the, I guess, same as input date. So output time when you are sending this as a time, yeah, HHMM format. Yeah, the message form priority is like the defaulted one as N. Any queries? Okay, I get moving to the next block. So the transaction reference, it is tag 20. It's a sequence number that it's a like system generating sequence number. Yeah,
From the other bank.
Yeah, this is the other bank's standard reference. Their reference number, yes.
Yeah,
Their reference number. So
yeah,
so you don't need it. You need actually 21, which is critical, right?
Correct.
right. So 21 is the transaction reference of the requesting 920 that we have sent in the MT 920.
Yeah. So Sumesh and Yash or Upenda now, Uday actually. So it's critical, like when 920 is going out, the reference number in 20, we need to store in our local database. So Yash, when you send out the 920, we need to store that sequence number in tag 20. And when the 942 come back, we're gonna have to retrieve that sequence number, which probably will be in the 942 anyway. And when we construct 941, that's sequence number in the tag 21 of the incoming need to be populated for 941.
So the adapter will store it in 3TB, right? 66 sequence number when the 940, sorry, when the 920 goes out,
Yes.
right? And when the 941 is constructed, it will cross-reference with the database again to make sure it's the correct one, right?
Yeah, we're gonna have a conversation with Express team to see I'll assume when they receive a 942, there's a tag for I think Smash, we're gonna have to find out what is the 942 format. So assume they probably will have a tag 21 as well, and they're gonna receive this reference number for that.
Yeah, if you have MT 942,
It's a Swift mandate, Frank. So the sending bank has to send it back in 21.
Let's find out if 942 will have this tag 21. If it has, then the sending bank, other bank will actually send this reference number back to us. I think that's the one that's I think that's pretty much the one that we need to use for cross reference. Yeah.
What I was saying was the Frank that in 942 specifications that you see, right? They do have this, and the sending bank has to send back the reference number.
Okay. Cool. All right.
It's optional, right? The field is optional, right? Not mandatory.
It is, but if you see the Swift guide, reference guide, right? They say that the reference is the one that is in response to a 920.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, the next field is date and time indication. And it is self-explanatory. The data generation time is the bank sending the balance statement to the Swift message. Yeah. So it's again an optional field.
Okay.
The account identification is the account number for which the balance is requested. Yeah. Then the statement number is a 5-digit statement number that I guess it's other bank sends, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Then opening balance, it's a 62F. One character is for debit credit, then followed by date, then 3 characters ISO currency, then the amount, available balance amount.
So let's talk about the 3 balance fields here: opening balance, closing, and closing available balance.
Yeah. So
So
there are
which-
two. So there are
I
two
have,
fields, 62F.
Yeah, I jumped into the swing by looking at this. Yeah, sorry.
So opening balance is something which is not relevant for us. So we can skip that opening balance. There are 3. Can you scroll down and cover all the fields?
Yeah.
So there is 62F and 64, and there is 65 also actually, correct? There should be tag 65 also.
Okay, Tarun, we'll check that.
I guess there should be tag 65 also.
Ishwa, can you make a note?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but that is future balance, okay? So these are the tags where we can receive the available balance, right? 62F, 64 or 65. And this is something which is configurable in the bank contract. So there was a question, I guess it was from Rajan only, that what if the other bank provides balance in tag 65? How do we identify that that's the balance to be considered? So what we do is, yeah, sure, fine.
in this case, like now we are receiving 942, which is just balance of transactions. So we can do a calculation about what is available balance at the time, and we can put it in one of the tag here. So just let us know which tag you want to put the balance. Should we put it in a 62F because it's mandatory? And then you only use 62F? So I assume you only need one balance, right? One of the fields?
Yeah, as it is 62F is mandatory, obviously. If the 64.
So here actually Rajan is required to. So how will you know? Okay. So this is the other bank providing the balance information, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
But 62F is a mandatory, should come, right?
62F is mandatory, that will come, but that is booked balance, right?
Mm-hmm.
We need available balance.
Right.
So you want to put it in 64 then?
So that's again a configuration point, because the other bank would say that we are not using 64, we are using only 62F. We are not
But
using.
Turn, we're not requesting 941. Think about it, we're requesting 942. So we'll do a calculation of one balance, which is the logic, the design we're gonna do is.
So Frank, MT940 also has got these 3 fields.
Right. So 940 will have there's gonna be a one end of day balance, right? So 940.
940. If you look at 940 format, that
Yeah.
also has got these 3 or 4 fields.
Okay.
So I don't know what is the balance that the other bank will populate in each of those fields, which field is being used, right?
Yeah, 940 we'll find out because Express is already receiving 940 for a very long time.
But when you add the transactions that you receive in 942 to those balance, you should add it to the correct balance side.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
Of course.
How will you know which is the correct balance type? So which
Yeah.
if that 940 has more than one balance type, then how will you know which balance type you want to add it to, or will you add it to all the balance types?
I took notes, but I'm pretty sure like the Express team will not make a mistake on that because they have their own they have their scope item to add 942 to 940 and display to the clients on the UI on online banking. So they need to do a proper calculation. So we'll find
But you
out.
said that they don't have the 942 concept right now, right?
Yeah, they're working on it. Like this is in
Yeah.
progress work.
Yeah, so that's something new that they will have to work on to add it to the 940 balance, right? So I thought that if Rajan would have been here, it would have been good because he was asking me questions and there was questioning the RFP points as well. Do you accept, or a clarification that was received from RBC, that do you accept balances in tax 65? Which is,
We'll find out from Express like
so,
which
yeah.
what is the 940 they received and how do they calculation like when they receive 942.
Yeah. So why I'm asking this question, Frank, is because once Express converts the calculated value into an empty 941, they will have to put the value in the correct balance type, the correct tag out here, so that we pick it up from that particular tag.
Yeah. So let's talk about that one. Like, which tag do you want us to put it into 9
It's
out of
again,
21?
that's what Frank. It's a configuration that our RBC needs to do in the application, which depends on the arrangement with the other bank.
Okay.
Okay, so
So
in the other bank's MT940,
Mhm.
which tag will have the available balance?
Right. So let's say we receive 940. We do a
Yeah.
calculation. We know that this is the intraday available balance for this account for this client, right?
How will you know which tag it is? Are you saying that Express has that information? That this
Yeah.
is a tag where the available balance will be received? So right now here, you see. Yeah.
Think about it. So they receive 940. They will have end of day balance. We'll find out like which tag we receive. Like assume they know about it. We already know about it. Which tag, say either one of them, like 62 or 64, it doesn't matter. So 940, they receive it. They know which tag is for end of day balance for yesterday, right? Then they receive 942. There's list of transactions intraday. Then they do a calculation and say, okay, this is the balance for this account intraday, and now we're gonna put that calculated balance into the 941 message sent to you. So from your side, we just need to decide, which tag we're gonna put that value, and you're gonna use that tag.
Okay, my question: in the 940 that you have received, okay, there is one tag called 62F and there's one tag called 64.
Yeah.
Okay, 62F is booked balance and 64 is available balance. Say the book balance that you receive is 75K and the available balance which you receive is 85K. There could be different balances for a particular account. Book balance can be different from available balance. Okay, what we are using for sweeps is available balance. Bank A says available balance will be available in 64. Bank B says, which is a third party bank B says, I will provide you available balance in the tax 65, which is not listed out here. Okay. How will you need to know that the 942 transaction that you receive, you will have to add it to tax 65 or tax 64 and also tax 62. So that kind of a calculation will have to be done.
And I think that's what Arun, that's what Frank is saying. He's using the previous day 940 holds, or the difference between available and ledger, and computing it.
Yeah.
So you will have to do it.
We know.
So
understand what you mean.
yeah.
Understand
So
what you mean.
Yeah.
You need to use the closing available balance to do the calculation. That's what I mean, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
When intraday closing, well, for Tarun, it's intraday closing available balance, which you will
So
compute.
Yeah. So how do you know it will be 62 and not 64, or it will be 64 not 62?
yeah, we'll find out. Okay. So when we have a requirement to express teams, say, okay, use the either 64 or 65, the closing available balance.
It could differ per bank. And the point is, it could differ per bank. It is not constant per bank.
Okay.
That is what I'm highlighting. One bank would say it is 62F, one bank would say it is 64, the other bank would say it is 65. That's
It's
where
gonna
I'm
be-
question my point is.
Is there
It's gonna
anything
be-
like 65? I just checking Daniel. I don't know if there's anything like 65.
There was a forward dated balance also.
That's
And that
forward.
was coming-
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
forward transaction.
Yes.
So is it 65 forward?
It is just a what you call an indication by Swift that this is the tag that you can use it. It is can use. Right? It is not must use. Okay. But each of the banks, they take their own preference as to which tag they would want to populate the balance. Okay. So here mandatory is only 62F. It says it is booked funds, but it is not a mandatory directive from Swift that it has to be booked funds.
Okay.
The other bank can say that no, I would want, instead of, since it is mandatory and we are always going to work on available balance, I don't want to do any addition work. I will populate the available balance in this tag. Some banks will say no, I will continue to populate booked balance in this tag because that's a good indicator for the corporate also. Either 64 or 65. Either of these tags I will use to capture the available balance. Okay, so every bank will have their own ways to do that configuration. And that's what I'm saying. How will RBC Express know to which the transactions need to be added?
Okay, we'll find out.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna do calculation display to the client, right? So they
Exactly.
will know the scenario, right?
Exactly.
Yes,
Or
right.
will they do the transactions addition to all the balance tags? That's the simplest and the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, we'll find out. But our requirement is like now we need to use the closing available balance for the calculation.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that is
So-
something which again something which has to be configured in the bank contract. When you set up a third-party bank in the system, there is something known as bank contract, wherein you need to specify available balance will be coming in which time from that
And
particular
like
bank.
now, when you say the contract, you're talking about the RMA agreement, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we will. I think I'll take notes on the agreements. Take the points. Okay, cool. So ideally, we should make it consistent. Like when we have RMA for all the banks, just say, okay, just follow the Swift, suggestion. Book, closing balance for booked funds, just put in 60F. Closing available balance, put into 64, right? So they just make it consistent.
And then even if it's optional, you would want it, basically.
Yes.
I think that's the key there that Tarun is
Correct.
highlighting,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Even if
yes.
it's optional, you have to have an agreement to populate that.
Just
Alright.
wanted to call this out. The other bank does not send or will not send 41. They will send 42. Just
We know about it, when we first start a session. I don't know if you joined the session. So we're saying like, no, we're not going to send the 42 requests to them. We're sending 40. We're not going to send a 41 request to them. We'll send 42 to them. And we'll use,
Yeah, incoming is also going to be 42, right, Frank?
Yeah, incoming will be 42. Yes. So we're
So-
gonna use 40 and 42 to do a calculation.
So the tax would be not the same like in 41. Is that right? We're looking at 41 right now.
Yeah, but we are gonna construct a 41, send back to LMS.
Okay, so you internally
Internally, yes.
will populate 41 coming out of 42, right? Like just okay, got it.
Okay, so we will take notes when we smash like let's put this as a Friday when we have discussion with Express. What kind of balance they can receive from 940 and notify to them like different bank could be might be different when they send out balance in different tax. And also I think we should put note to Eric when we work on RMA with different banks, make sure like this is in the requirements.
Yeah, but just speak with Rajan also, because I remember Rajan asking this question. Do you have, Rajan was asking this question to us, do you have the capability to receive balance in tax 65? So there would be certain banks that would be providing balance in tax 65. Maybe it is the other bank. You never know, right? So I guess you can connect with Rajan also and get that clarity.
But that doesn't involve you, Tarun, right? For you, all you want is 941 with tag 60, what is this,
64.
So it's up to you. How easy would it be for you to populate the balance in tag X when it is received in tag Y? I mean,
So I think
so it's up to you to decide and let us know what it is.
Jerome, for Interact it's easy. Let's just make a decision. Let's use tag 64. Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna send you the right balance, which is the available balance intraday, and we will make sure like our calculation is correct.
Okay.
Okay. So let's use 64.
Yeah, but do let me know how are you managing it.
Yeah, we will find out like from Express team because they're gonna receive 42 and do a calculation, and we will actually factor in different different scenarios like if other banks not like RMA we should like make sure that all the bank follows the SWIFT standard, right? So close balance book fund means book funds 64 means like available balance, and they're sending 64 to us, right? Okay. So that'll cover this 941. Should we look at MT 103 out? Okay.
Yeah, just a minute. Everyone else will play now.
Okay.
Just give me a minute.
Okay. Do you guys want to break 5 minutes?
Yes, that will be good, Frank.
So let's take a break 5 minutes because
Yes. So we are done with 941, right?
Yes.
Okay, great.